Hey everybody, welcome back. It's week 2, and we are going to get started by taking a look at where we are and what assignments we're doing this week and where everything that you need is located to succeed in week 2. Let me go to our course, and you should be looking at the homepage right now. Right now, I'm still in my view because I want to take a look at the syllabus really quick, and then we'll go into student view. So as I mentioned, we're in week 2. So if you go scroll all the way down to the course calendar, you'll notice that we are delving into our first reading assignment from our online textbook. Again, this is a textbook that you do not have to actually purchase, which is great. And then you have 2 assignments this week. We're going to be taking a quiz over APA information, and we're going to be doing the first of our writing assignments in the form of an interest inventory. One of the things that you're going to want to keep an eye on for ENC 2210 is topic areas. So we're going to be looking at things that you're interested in, not only for work, but even for hobbies and things like that, because a lot of the documents that we're creating could come from any area of interest of yours. Most people will focus on what they want to major in going forward in college, or what they want to do for work. But this interest inventory will kind of give you some different things to choose from. So let me go back into the modules, and as you should, and I'm going to turn on the student view so that it looks more familiar to you. And as I mentioned, we are, of course, in week 2, the introduction to tech and professional writing and the APA review. Under the learning materials, which of course you should delve into before you attempt to take the quiz or do the assignment, we've got a reminder, of course, about the lecture, which is what we're doing right now. And then, of course, you have a link to the reading assignment. As I've mentioned before, your textbook is a PDF file. And I did, by the way, let me show you where it is. I did add a link to that on the homepage. So if you want to ever just look at the textbook, you can certainly click on that and it will give you the entire text. You are able to download it if you want to save it on your own computer. So in case, I don't know, the power's out or whatever, or the internet's out. You could also print it out if you wanted to, although it's 108 pages. So I don't know if I would print it out, but if you want to do that so that you can take notes, you certainly might want to take the individual assignments that we're reading and print those out sometimes if you want to take some good notes on them and that sort of thing. But anyway, you can link to that on the homepage, but the links are also in the modules for each reading assignment. So in week 2's learning materials, the only thing that you're reading for this week is the introduction to technical and report writing. It is on pages 6 to 18 in the textbook. And again, this link will take you, looks exactly the same. It is literally the same document. This does not have the, I do not have the ability to just take you straight to page 6. However, I believe, and we'll kind of double check here, I believe, nope, you will have to scroll. I think if you download it, it may have clickable links in the table of contents. I know that the library worked on trying to get everything to work properly, but obviously that is it's not necessarily clicking on going straight to it. But anyway, you should be able to navigate it without a lot of fuss and fuss. So I'm not too worried about it. But at any rate, that's where your reading assignment is this week. And then you will have oh, sorry, then I need to go with the APA review. Sorry. I've got some videos for you that are reminding you about APA formatting. The basic format has changed if it has been more than a couple of semesters since you took ENC 1101. there have been some updates to APA. On the plus side, it's actually gotten much simpler. But this first video is just about the general formatting, so how to set up the cover page and all that. The second video is about the reference list, because when you do have research that you've got to cite, the reference list should always be done before you write the document, so that you know what is going to go inside the parenthetical citations or the in-text citations. So there are separate videos on those. In some cases, we may not be using a lot of research. This interest inventory, for example, is a lot of your own interest. So sometimes you'll need that, sometimes you won't, but everything that you need is right there. I also wanted to show you that the library has materials, including a template that you can use. And they've changed their homepage, but I believe we still click on library. And then we can click on, there it is, Citation Center. So from the main library page, I clicked on libraries, and then I'm clicking on Citation Center. Now, if I were you, and if you don't already have this saved somewhere, you might want to save this as a favorite, a bookmark. The APA style stuff is second section. This is a template that you can open. This is the proper template, the student sample paper template. If you have to do any bibliographies, there are some separate ones for those. This is also the APA citation guide. So if you have citations that you need to create for a reference page, that is essentially a small version of the full APA citation guide. If you have a Little Seagull handbook from recent times, then everything should still be correct in there as well. But it did change, I think probably about a year and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken. So this will give you that sample paper template. And honestly, especially when it comes to APA, I'm not that great at it. I'm an English major, so we always used MLA. I'm getting better and better because I teach it a lot, but I oftentimes will find myself using the template. Microsoft Word also has a template, but I am not 100% sure whether it's up to date. Before we leave today's video, I will open it up and double check it for you. But in the meantime, I am a big believer in using the library stuff because they do a really good job of keeping it updated. But you'll want to watch the videos in here, as well as perhaps review that. There's an article for you to read on self-reflection, because that's what we're doing in that assignment. And then it is time to go back to the module and earn your points. So, like I said, the APA quiz, you're going to take that. It's worth 25 points. That is due this following Sunday. And then the interest inventory. So we're going to open that up and talk about it a little bit. So in this course, of course, we're focusing on writing both technical and professional types of documents. So part of that is putting some thought into what you're going to be doing in terms of a profession, or how technical writing would apply in your particular fields, because technical writing does not necessarily mean it has to do with computers. Technical writing is used in all fields, for instructions and manuals and things of that nature. So in this particular report, you're basically just doing some self-reflection and focusing on your interests. It will be in APA format. So you're going to have a cover page. The essay, the document, the report itself begins on page 2, and then a reference list. And you probably will have a reference for at least for photos or visuals, or really anything that you end up looking up. I will also mention, while we're talking about it, that one of my favorite go-tos for citations in terms of APA citations, and you may want to make note of this website. It is scribr.com, except I can't spell today. SCR, there it is, IBBR.com. And the reason I am pointing this one out to you is that, unlike a lot of the other citation generating websites, they will give you APA citations for free. Some of the other ones give MLA citations for free, but not APA. So especially if you're looking up information on websites and things of that nature, which you probably will be for this kind of assignment, I use this citation generator a lot. It allows you to just put in, if it's a website, it allows you to just put in the URL. In fact, let me just use this particular website that I've got. I don't know if this will work because it's for a signing up for an event, but let's try it. Okay, and it gives us a link. So we click on that, and then it shows the title, the URL. There was no author. There is a publication date, so that's showing. The date access, we don't actually use that in APA, but it will default to today. The website, and then if we needed an annotation, which we don't. So let's click on cite source, and there's my citation. It also tells you what will go in your in-text citation, which is kind of awesome. So when you cite it within the document, that's what will go in there. Okay, so you just click on this and copy it. You paste it then into your Word document. You want to make sure that the italics stay in italics, but it's super, super simple to use. So I'm a big fan of that as a citation generator for websites specifically. When you're using library sources, of course, you want to use the actual APA citation that's provided, but we'll get into that when we get into some more detailed research. So at any rate, feel free to make this report visually interesting with headings, subheadings, and visuals. This does not have to be an essay. This does not have to have lots and lots and lots of text. So because of this, you might want a single space when you are using paragraph form. That is perfectly fine, even though an APA document, normally everything would be double spaced. But if you want a single space, the actual body, you are more than welcome to do that. You also can feel free to use bulleted lists, numbered lists. You do want to have a clear introduction and conclusion, but in terms of the middle part, it could be less paragraph, more bullets, however it makes sense to set it up to you. So in essence, this is an autobiography. So you want to include, kind of just a little bit about you, your life. And then I want you to focus on things that you find interesting. So I want you to have at least 5 or more things that you find interesting in some way. They could be hobbies, sports, crafts, cultural activities, theme parks, et cetera, et cetera. I definitely would indicate things. I would include at least 1 or 2 things that are things that you want to do, but you haven't had a chance to start yet. Something that I thought of was I've been wanting to go do scuba lessons for a while. Haven't had a chance to do it. I have a good friend who wants to learn to ride a motorcycle. Another one who wants to learn about violins and how to play the violin. So those would be things I could include on my list. And those could be things that I could use in my documents for this particular class. You can also include how they might become a field of study or work. And if you want to focus on something that you want to do, like video game design or IT, whatever the case may be, then by all means do include that. But I want you to be thinking beyond just what you want to do for a living or what you want to study in school, because I think you might find some things that could make interesting topics for this particular course. So it's a 25-point assignment. There's no set length. Doesn't have to be a specific length, but it needs to explore 5 or more things that you find interesting and why. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to create that in a Microsoft Word document and APA format, so cover page, body, and conclusion, or the references. When you are ready to turn it in, you're going to click on Start Assignment, and you have to upload a file. So you click on that, you choose where it is in your computer, and then you click Submit Assignment. All right. So that's your main goal for this week. The quiz, of course, is another thing that you need to turn in by the end of the week. Both of those are due next Sunday night, September the 4th. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out. Of course, don't forget that you do have access to the You do have access to the Q&A discussion board. So if you want to ask, if it's a question about the assignment, this is a good place to put it so that, everyone can have benefit from that. And of course, if you have something you want to ask me that is not, really necessary for everybody, you can always reach out by the inbox, and we can get you headed in the right direction. So I hope everyone had a great first week of classes. If you have not already done so, of course, your discussion board introduction was due Sunday night, is due Sunday night. And then what was the other thing we had in module 1? Oh yeah, the syllabus quiz. So those two things, most of you have already turned them in, but if you have not done so, of course, Sunday night is your last chance for that. So like I said, if you have questions, reach out. I'm happy to help, and I will see you next week for our weekly walkthrough and lecture for week 3. All right, everybody take care. Have a great week.